Thank you deeply to all of you for being present in this 21 session journey, a path of expanding inner awareness. Thank you also to your loved ones who may have gently invited or inspired you to be here today. Over the next 21 sessions, we will engage in meaningful exchanges, not merely to listen, but to absorb and to transform. This is a journey, not a one-time event. Each session builds upon the previous one. Session 1 leads into Session 2, Session 2 connects to Session 3, and in this way, the whole process unfolds. Our course is called Understanding the Inner Being, Creating True Peace. So what will we truly receive in these 21 sessions? In just a moment, I will share with you the core meaning and the value behind this program, so we may walk this path with clarity and purpose. And along this journey, I invite you to learn with a spirit of enjoyment. Let these 21 sessions be an opportunity to enjoy inner discovery and gentle transformation. According to the sages, human knowledge can be grouped into 3 domains: worldview, cosmology, and human perspective. Our schools and society mainly cultivate our worldview, the understanding of the external world. Religions and belief systems often guide us toward cosmology, views about the universe and its origin. But human perspective, the understanding of life, values, and the inner world, comes through daily living and reflection. This course focuses purely on the human perspective. So, during our discussions, we will explore questions related to human life, inner nature, and the principles of living wisely. If questions arise about the worldview or cosmology, we will acknowledge them, but they are not the focus of this journey. This is more than a course. It is a sacred journey of shared reflection and deepening understanding. If you truly engage, reflect, and connect, you may begin to see through parts of the human experience that once felt confusing or hidden. And through that, we will begin to understand what lies at the heart of all human life: the inner being, the principle of flow, the boat and the current. To begin our journey, I invite you to visualize a simple but profound image. Let's draw a boat together. Yes, you can simply sketch one on paper and label it boat. That's enough. This boat represents the journey of our life. The entire path we're walking in this course is rooted in this image. Now imagine, you want your boat to move from point A to point B. There are 2 possible situations with the river current. The current flows in the same direction as your boat. The current flows in the opposite direction to your boat. If the current flows with your boat, and you have a driver and an engine, then the journey is easy, even effortless. Even if you let go of the oars, even if the engine is off, the boat may still reach point B. But if the current flows against your boat, and there is no driver, no engine, then the boat cannot reach its destination. Even with an engine and a driver, moving against the current is always difficult and exhausting. The sages gave us this image to help us reflect. In life, most people, 90, even 99 out of 100, have to struggle and push hard just to move forward. And the moment we stop trying, we begin to fall behind or drift backward. Does that sound familiar? Perhaps we are trying to row against the current of life. Then comes a deeper insight. If the boat is your life, then the river is made of principles and laws, the unseen forces that guide life. If you live in alignment with these principles, life becomes simple, peaceful, and effective. But if you go against these principles, you will feel constant resistance, hardship, and fatigue. That's why we begin this course with the principle of flow. This 21-day journey is nothing less than a path of transformation. We are not here to collect more knowledge. We are here to awaken, to realign, and to transform our inner world. With this image of the boat in mind, let us flow together. The most powerful laws that govern human life, regardless of whether we approach it from science, religion, or daily moral values, is the law of cause and effect. But even this law has 3 distinct levels, corresponding to the 3 perspectives: worldview, cosmology, and human perspective. 1. Cause and effect in the worldview. This is the level we're most familiar with. For example, if we want to eat a mango, we plant a mango seed, water it, nourish it, and eventually enjoy the fruit. If the seed is good, but we plant it on concrete, it won't grow. If the soil is good, but the seed is boiled, it still won't sprout. This is called managing cause and effect in the physical world, knowing what we want, what to do, and when to do it. Other examples: building a house from materials, labor, and planning. That's cause and effect. Cooking a meal with ingredients, recipe, and time. That too is cause and effect. This is the world of logic and visible outcomes. 2. Cause and effect in cosmology. This level is more abstract and spiritual. It deals with the questions: what happens after we die? Where does the soul go? If one follows Buddhist cosmology, one might speak of the 6 realms of rebirth. If one follows Christianity, it may be about heaven or hell. Those who know exactly how to live in this life so as to create favorable outcomes beyond this body, they are managing karma of cosmology. We do not explore this deeply in this course. 3. Cause and effect in the human perspective. This is the realm we will focus on. And yet, most people today are still unclear and unable to manage cause and effect in human relationships and life experiences. Examples: who can guarantee that marriage will bring lasting happiness? Who can assure that their children will grow up to be wholesome and successful just as they wish? Who can predict their future health with certainty, even with healthy living? These are all aspects of human karma, and we do not yet master them. So why is this important? Because human beings are suffering not because of physical failure or spiritual ignorance alone, but because they do not know. What is the cause in human life? What are the conditions that shape its unfolding? And what is the true result in the relationships and experiences of life? When we do not know the cause, we cannot grow the right conditions, and thus we cannot expect a different result. So, what is our goal in this course? If over these 21 sessions we can deeply understand just one thing, the true cause of human experience, then we've already made a profound shift. Because from that point, we can begin to resow that cause and let life transform. You may not master all the conditions and may not yet see all the results, but to know the true cause of inner peace and fulfillment, that alone can change your life. So why is it that despite being affected by this law every day, most people still struggle in marriage, parenting, health, and relationships? Because we don't truly know what the cause is. We are unclear about what leads to what. So we live by hope, luck, or guesswork, not by clarity and mastery. Examples: we hope marriage will bring happiness, but we don't know the causes of a harmonious union. We try to raise children well, but don't know what foundational cause ensures they grow up whole. We eat healthy, but still fall ill, because we ignore inner emotional and spiritual causes. That's why the sages say, the greatest transformation in life comes when you truly understand the cause. This course is not about exploring the universe or the physical world. We may mention them for clarity, but we will not dwell in them. Our focus is purely on the human experience, and through that, we will awaken. This course was designed with one deep insight, that every one of us is surrounded by an invisible cocoon. This cocoon is made of layers, and on average, each person is wrapped in 6 layers. These layers are what we call barriers of awareness, or simply, inner limitations. 1. Underestimating oneself. This is when we believe we're just average, unable to do this or that, so we stop trying. This is one of the most common self-perception limitations. 2. Fear of failure. We don't start. We hesitate. We back down before even trying. This fear holds us back from growth and transformation. 3. Fear of criticism, especially from loved ones, spouses, parents, friends, or society at large. We shrink ourselves to avoid judgment. 4. Lack of conditions. We say, I don't have enough time, money, or support. This belief makes us passive, hesitant to begin. 5. Lack of knowledge. We feel, I don't know enough to act. This wraps us in doubt and stagnation. 6. Lack of vision. Not knowing where we're headed, we lose energy. Without vision, our actions become scattered or paralyzed. All these form the inner cocoon that prevents us from taking off. Let's imagine a rocket is ready to launch, engine on, full of fuel, but held down by 6 heavy chains. The moment we cut these 6 chains, it rises. So it is with us. Once we release these 6 inner limitations, transformation becomes effortless and limitless. Now, let's reflect on this metaphor. If an egg is broken from the outside, it becomes food. But if it breaks from within, life is born. Many people only change when pain or loss force them to. But if pain doesn't change us, deeper pain will come. And if still unchanged, life may bring loss or tragedy to awaken us. But the wise path is this: don't wait for pain. Let love be your reason for transformation. Love for self. Love for those who believe in you. Love for life. This course is built on the foundation of self-awareness. When you become aware of your inner limitations and release them, you grow. You may even grow taller, brighter, more joyful. This is a path of liberating self-awareness, not through force, but through love. That is the intention behind this journey. So let's begin this course not from pressure, but from presence. Not from fear, but from love. Together, we rise. Let's give ourselves a round of applause for choosing this path of inner elevation. One of the guiding principles we will apply throughout this journey of transformation is the principle of light. Let's begin with a simple image. Please draw a rectangle or square to represent a dark room. Label it a dark room. In this image, darkness and light are opposites. They exist in duality. If light appears, darkness disappears. If darkness dominates, light withdraws. So if we have a dark room and we want it to be bright, we have 2 options. Try to remove the darkness, or simply bring in the light. In reality, the second option is simple and effective. Even a child knows, just switch on the light. Now, apply this principle to human life. When we encounter suffering, problems, or emotional darkness, what do we often do? We try to solve the problems, to remove the darkness. But no matter how many problems we solve, others arise. In this metaphor, problems are darkness, and transformation comes when we simply bring in the light. Inner clarity, love, awareness. We shift from problem solving to light generating. Now, let's expand this image. Please draw a house. Label it with 4 components. At the foundation, inner being. Left pillar, health. Right pillar, relationships. On the roof, finances. These are the 4 aspects of human life. According to the sages, if we master these 4, we master our life. But most people want to master business, not life. Now, let's reflect. All problems in life, in relationships, money, health, originate from imbalance in these 4 pillars. And all 4 are interconnected. For example, a restless inner state causes conflict in relationships. Health problems create emotional distress and drain finances. Financial stress erodes both peace and love. So what do most people do? They try to solve each problem one by one, like removing darkness piece by piece. But no matter how hard they try, darkness remains. That's because they violate the principle of light. They try to remove darkness, or problems, instead of shining light, or awareness, love, clarity. The wisdom is simple. Don't fight the dark, just light the lamp. So throughout this course, we will not focus on solving every problem. Instead, we will cultivate light, inner clarity, self-awareness, love, and gratitude. To help you remember, I will soon draw another image, one that may stay with you for life. The meaning of this image is, instead of solving problems with our inner being, health, relationships, or finances, which are like darkness, let us light the lamp. Light the lamp of wisdom. Light the lamp of mindset. Light the lamp of character. Light the lamp of virtue. Light the lamp of capability. Light the lamp of physical strength. Why? Because as we illuminate these aspects, problems in our inner life, health, relationships, and finances begin to dissolve, slowly and steadily. Instead of solving problems, we are now advised, build wealth. You can write this down. Instead of solving problems, let's build wealth. So, what kind of wealth do we build? Let I offer you 7 aspects. the 7 dimensions of true wealth. Let's return to the image of the house. Draw the same house as before, with 4 foundational aspects. Base, inner being. Left pillar, health. Right pillar, relationships. Roof, finance. This time, draw a hexagon inside the house. Label its 7 sections with these words: wisdom, mindset, character, virtue, capability, physical health, material wealth. These are the 7 dimensions of true wealth. Many people define wealth by money and assets. That's only material wealth, just 1 out of 7. Wealth without health is meaningless. Wealth without wisdom is unstable. Wealth without capability cannot be maintained. Wealth without virtue or character is empty. Wealth without peace of mind, mindset, leads to suffering. That is why we say true wealth is holistic wealth. Over time, society realized a person may have money, but if they lack goodness, few want to be around them. Success without integrity leads to loneliness. So we must develop all 7 dimensions of wealth. We can divide these into 2 categories. Material, what can be seen or measured. Material wealth, physical health. Capability, non-material. The invisible, inner richness. Wisdom, mindset, character. Virtue, true wealth means having both. And now we connect this with the principle of light. If human suffering and darkness, then the 7 dimensions of wealth, light every time we grow in wisdom, love, health, or gratitude, we are bringing in light. So instead of solving problems, removing darkness, we focus on becoming truly rich in all 7 ways. This is how we apply the principle of light in life. Now write this down. From now on, instead of fixing problems, I will focus on holistic wealth. This is the path of light. Let's recall the key message again. 7 dimensions of wealth, 7 rays of inner light. These include wisdom, mindset, character, virtue, capability, physical health, material. Wealth together, they dispel all forms of darkness. Instead of solving life's problems, from now on, let us focus on one thing: holistic wealth. To do this, we must understand 2 key concepts: material and non-material. Draw 2 arrows, one from non-material, material, and write materializing the non-material. One from material, non-material, and write spiritualizing the material. These 2 transformations are the foundation of value creation. Have you ever kept an old object, like a letter, gift, or photo, for years? Its market price is low, but its emotional value is priceless. That's an example of spiritualizing the material, infusing things with meaning. Let's look at fashion and branding. A handbag made in Vietnam may cost $30 to produce, but once branded, it's sold for $3,000 or more. Why? Because of non-material elements, brand, story, uniqueness. Even a vegetable, when labeled organic, traceable, or sacred, gains higher value. So material things gain true value only when we infuse them with meaning. That is spiritualizing the material. Now, let's talk about people. Most of us raise children with this mindset: eat well, study well, get a good job, earn money. So our children's worth is based on their capability and physical health. But this forgets the deeper values: wisdom, mindset, character, virtue. When we ignore these, our children become workers, not whole beings. Many people judge themselves based on who they deserve to marry or how much they earn. But this is a material-based self-worth system. The truth is, when you enrich your wisdom, mindset, character, your life transforms. This entire journey is about one thing: spiritualizing the self to elevate personal value. At the same time, we must materialize the non-material. How? By making invisible inner values visible. For example, turn your love into actions. Make gratitude visible in your words. Practice wisdom in daily choices. That is materializing the non-material. Final insight: instead of solving human problems, build holistic wealth. Because darkness, even for 1,000 years, vanishes the moment light enters. And the light we speak of is wisdom, mindset, character, virtue, capability, physical health, material, wealth. Each one is a flame. Together, they create a brilliant inner life. In today's session, Tone would like to share one more transformative law. the brain activation principle. This principle applies not in scientific terms, but in the context of human life and inner being. Please write down 3 terms. Lesson. Realization. Inside these 3 go hand in hand with anyone who awakens. A lesson is something new to your awareness. A realization is something you can apply in life. An insight is the answer to a long-standing question or struggle. In life, every person faces challenges. If they go through hardship but learn nothing, if they apply nothing and they realize nothing, then those challenges will repeat. Why do challenges appear in life? The wise say, hardships come to awaken us. They are messengers, giving us lessons, insights, and growth. But life is short. We don't have forever. So the wise also say, you don't need pain to grow. You only need understanding. So, if we gather lessons, realizations, and insights through learning and reflection, then pain becomes unnecessary. Growth happens with clarity. Imagine someone falls into a river. To a non-swimmer, it's a crisis. To a swimmer, it's just a situation. Preparation removes the pain. So, if someone enriches their mindset, builds up gratitude, lives with joy, then blame, anger, sorrow cannot stay long because you are already prepared. So, what is the principle? People need lessons to grow, not problems. In our 21-day journey, we will gather daily. Reflect. What did I learn today? Note your realizations. What touched you deeply? Capture your insights. What did you finally understand? The more insights we collect, the less hardship we need. That's the power of this principle. Remember this: one day, one insight. The more I awaken, the less I suffer. Lesson, realization, insight, the journey of brain activation and inner growth.